Okay guys, today we are going to do a review of the MicroHeli Advanced X frame for the Blade mCP, and I already went ahead and opened it to save time in this video. But what you get in the box is the instructions, and then inside the box you have your frame, canopy posts, an aluminum tail boom adapter for 2mm tail booms. You get a bag of extra screws in case you lose any, as they are very tiny. And you also get a bag of servo spacers, and these are spacers that are longer than the spacers already on the frame. And that's because if you use the longer spacers, you're actually able to flip your servos inwards and use straight servo rods. So that way you get a better geometry to the swash plate. And now we'll go over some features of the frame. Up front we have a Delrin 3-in-1 mount, but behind the screws are two O-rings to help absorb vibrations and give you better control, as your 3-in-1 won't have to fight vibrations as much. You have a carbon fiber anti-rotation bracket, and this anti-rotation bracket can be moved to the rear of the frame, and I will show that later and what the purpose of that is. You have a Delrin landing gear peg hole up front and an aluminum one out back. Both bearing blocks are aluminum. The tail boom mount is aluminum and it will accept 3mm booms. But if you have a 2mm boom, you could just slide in the little adapter. And your servos, they all screw into metal, so make sure you use thread lock on them. Except for the elevator servo on the bottom, it screws into Delrin. And the motor mount is made from carbon fiber, and the holes are slotted so you can adjust your gear mesh. And overall, the frame is very stiff. There's no twist or flex in it, and it's the same thickness carbon fiber used throughout, so it's not thin in some areas, so I don't think it will break in a crash really. I'll install the canopy post, move the anti-rotation bracket, and we'll be right back. Okay guys, so I went and installed the canopy post. The single long rod goes through the front, and that's just held in place by a piece of heat shrink on both sides. Then the two shorter rods go up top, and they're held in place by a little set screw on the bearing blocks here and here. And I went ahead and moved the anti-rotation bracket to the rear. And you might be asking, what's the purpose of that? Well, on a normal stock mCP, you might notice when you flip it, it doesn't go straight back like this. It goes straight back and twists a little bit. And that's because the anti-rotation pin on the swash plate is not in line with the rest of the balls on the swash plate. So MicroHeli has an Advanced X swash plate, and as you can see, the anti-rotation pin extends out the back elevator ball. So now the anti-rotation pin is level with the rest of the swash balls, and now your mCP will flip back perfectly straight. So that's your main advantage of moving your anti-rotation bracket to the rear, is so that you can switch to the swash plate. And in the package they also include the little carbon pin, and you can just CA that back into the swash plate there in case you do want to move your anti-rotation bracket back to the side. And that is our review of the MicroHeli Advanced X frame and MicroHeli Advanced X swash plate for the Blade mCP. And overall, it seems like it's a really nice frame and something I look forward to using.